most businesses fail to transition to the second generation. We have seen it with Tuskies. We have seen it with so many different companies here in Kenya that they fail to transition to the second generation. And the reason to this is because that, and maybe I just share it also on that particular chapter, is that the parents the first generation build up a business, build up wealth, but despite growing up in this particular wealth, the children in the second generation have a scarcity mindset, whereby for all of them, they just want to get what exactly it is from the business, not to build within the business.
Back to the book, I was reading an excerpt from your book, and it was talking about regardless of your background, whether rich or poor, either mentality can be imposed by you, either by your environment or your choices. And the part that stuck out the most was in a later chapter, the family business, an observation I made backed by statistics that the second generation of most family businesses hardly transition to the third generation. Various reasons for this will be explained. I don't want to give people whatever is in the book for free. Please get the book. Ian, will you help us maybe understand why do you think most family businesses flop after some time?
So I share a chapter on family business through a case study I did for Victoria Furniture. But I think the excerpt you read was from a chapter called The Power of Brooke. And The Power of Brooke primarily just speaks to a mindset. And primarily one of the lessons I share there is through a scarcity and an abundance mindset. Maybe before I just go into why exactly most family businesses fail, maybe I can just tackle in brief The Power of Brooke. Because in that particular chapter, I share two key stories. A story of a lady who literally comes from a very poor family, but managed to literally start off their business. She was a mama fua, and then built herself as a mama fua to actually establish herself with a company called Miss Clean. And also share a story about a gentleman who set up Cafe Deli, and I think most of us probably have been through the city center, have seen Cafe Deli, the chain of restaurants. All of them grew up in abject poverty. None of them actually went to tertiary education until much, much later for them. And primarily just sharing by the experiences, I touch onto the power of the mindset, because it literally, there's literally a mindset that actually you literally have to have. And many a times when just going into the family business, you find that statistics actually show, and we've actually experienced it, that most businesses fail to transition to the second generation. We have seen it with Tuskies. We have seen it with so many different companies here in Kenya that they fail to transition to the second generation. And the reason to this is because that, and maybe I just share it also on that particular chapter, is that the first generation build up a business, build up wealth, but despite growing up in this particular wealth, the children in the second generation have a scarcity mindset, whereby for all of them, they just want to get what exactly it is from the business, not to build within the business. And I think that's one of the reasons why most of the businesses fail. And I've shared most of the statistics, aspect of corruption that comes into place. This is because of a scarcity mentality. They want to take from the existing pool of resource instead of giving into it. But also within that particular chapter, I share, through that particular case study, I share why some family businesses are able to go through that. Because you find within the journey of a family business, there are different setups. So in the first generation, the parents are literally the owners of the business. They're literally the managers of the business, and they're actually in the day-to-day operation of the business. In the second generation, the aspect of management and day-to-day operation still starts to cease off pole, dependent on how exactly the second generation were groomed by the parents. And if the parents groomed their children right, if the parents groomed their children with the abundant mindset, if the parents groomed their children with the values that they're supposed to have that actually help them build the first generation, then the business is able to go to the second generation. But if that does not happen, if that aspect of values and that aspect of the mentality is not built up in the children from the first to the second generation, that actually the business is not able to transition to the next generation.